Felix Auger-Aliassime just won the ATP 250 in Montpellier, indoors, again. And yet, a few weeks earlier, he just retired in the first round of the Australian Open, outdoors, again. Now, this seems to be a trend. Depending on the conditions, Felix Auger-Aliassime is either a future world number one who can blast elite players off the court in 15 minutes, or he's a guy who looks like he can't hit the strings on his racket. And what makes Felix so fascinating and honestly so frustrating is that there's no middle ground. He doesn't lose gradually, he doesn't fade, he doesn't really grind his way through bad days. He's either operating at Mach 10, a level that looks genuinely terrifying, or the wheels completely come off. So what's actually going on here? Why does Felix look unbeatable one week and unrecognizable the next? And why do indoor courts seem to unlock a version of him that almost never shows up outdoors? Now, before we get into it, if you enjoy deep dives into the weirdest careers in tennis, the players who don't quite make sense on paper, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments if Felix is still a future Grand Slam contender or if we've already seen his ceiling. All right, let's get into it. Felix's career resume is strange, the moment you look at it closely. As of now, he has 9 ATP titles, and 8 of them have come on indoor hard courts. And it's not really a coincidence. Montpellier, Rotterdam, Basel, Florence, Cologne, over and over again, Felix shows up indoors and suddenly looks like one of the cleanest, most explosive players in the world. But when he steps outside, it seems to fall apart. I don't think it's just about results. It's something about how he plays, his style, his game. Because at his peak, Felix is one of the most violent ball strikers on tour. His forehand is a missile, his serve a cannon, and his backhand is clean and compact. And when his timing locks in, he can take the racket out of your hands before you even realize the match has started. Now, there are stretches where Felix doesn't just win points. He ends rallies immediately. 2 shots, serve +1, return plus forehand, done. You watch those matches and think, how the hell is this guy not top 5? How does anyone break him, indoors especially? And then, almost without warning, the next game, the level collapses. Suddenly the forehand sprays, the timing disappears, the footwork seems rushed, and the unforced errors pile up in clusters. And instead of looking unstoppable, well, he starts to look lost. Again, there's no middle ground for this guy. To understand Felix, I think you have to understand that his entire game is built on timing. He's not a margin player. He doesn't necessarily adapt to the opponent across the net. He walks onto court ready to play his game, his style, and nothing else. Felix hits a very linear ball. He takes it early, plays inside the baseline, and commits fully to his swings. He doesn't really loop shots to buy time the way we see Nadal do and other players like him. He doesn't absorb pace and redirect it like Novak or De Minaur. And he doesn't really improvise or problem solve like Alcaraz or Federer. Felix needs the ball to arrive where he expects it, and when he expects it. And indoors, well, lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. There's no wind, there's consistent lighting, stable temperatures, predictable bounce. The conditions are always perfect. Every variable that can disrupt timing is pretty much removed. Indoors tennis becomes pure ball striking. And Felix is exceptional when the game is all about striking. Now, outdoors though, things get a bit messy. A little bit of wind, suddenly his contact point is off. Changing light, his preparation slips. Heat, well, the ball jumps differently. Cold, the ball dies faster. And for most elite players, those are things you adjust to. For Felix, it seems they break his system entirely because his game doesn't really have a built-in backup plan. He can't revert to playing 10 feet behind the baseline and just making balls to build some rhythm. He has to play inside the baseline, front foot forward, and hit the living crap out of the ball. It's why he can look unbeatable for 15 minutes and then implode for the next 45. When his timing is locked in, he plays first strike tennis as well as almost anyone on tour. He overwhelms opponents, he rushes them, he makes the court feel small. But the moment that timing goes off, even slightly, he doesn't really know how to scale down. There's not a plan B for Felix. There's no make one more ball. There's no grinding, ugly survival tennis. It's all gas or no engine. And that's why his low points are so jarring, because when the timing disappears, he doesn't just lose, he just sprays errors. It also could explain why the Australian Open has been such a problem for him. Melbourne is brutal. Heat, sun, wind, day-night fluctuations, the ball behaves differently every session, every court's different. For a timing-dependent player, it's a nightmare. And when Felix retires in the first round there, it doesn't just feel like bad luck, it feels like his game almost rejecting the environment. Now compare that to Montpellier, controlled conditions, clean trad lines. It's his dream. In that setting, he doesn't even have to think. He doesn't have to adjust. He can just play his game and swing. And when he swings, it's pretty terrifying. This is why it's not that crazy to say that Felix might be one of the greatest indoor specialists of his era. Not because he's consistent necessarily, but because he's borderline unbreakable. His peak indoor level it's outrageous. The problem for him is that tennis isn't played exclusively indoors. So you may be asking, well, where does that leave Felix Auger-Aliassime? Well, he's gonna move up in the ranking. Current top 10, number 6 in the world right now. And to be honest, if tennis were an indoor only sport, he'd probably be top 3, maybe? He would rack up titles. He'd terrify everyone. He'd be an absolute nightmare in every draw. But, as we're all well aware, the outdoor matches matter more than the indoor. And the outdoor matches are chaotic, environmental, and they're a bit more uncomfortable. And, well, I think it's been established that Felix's game doesn't really handle the chaos well. Now, the frustrating part for his fans and probably for himself is that the tools are all there. He has the toolbox and it's full. The serve, the power, the athleticism, the shot making, the pedigree. What's missing isn't talent. It's his ability to adapt to the conditions. Until Felix learns how to win matches ugly, to win when his timing is bad, not just when it's perfect, the cycle's probably just gonna continue. Hey, but Felix, incredible indoor run. We all just ask the same question again. What's the deal with Felix Auger-Aliassime? And honestly, that question might define his entire career. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below.